Okay, so this is my week 1 task 1 video, and this is my first video. I know it's going to be weird talking to the computer, but I'm going to try my best. Obviously task 1 says we need to make 2 videos, and we need to use the web to learn about why some teachers choose to make decisions that facilitate technology integration in their courses, and why some teachers do not choose to make decisions that facilitate technology integration in their courses. Since we're using 2 different videos, I'm going to focus today's video and research on using technology in their courses, and my next video will focus on why teachers choose to not use technology integration in their courses. Also, I know down below it tells us to use techniques or strategies for saving and organizing relevant information that I think might be important and that I need to prepare for this meeting by taking notes and bookmarks. So I have Microsoft Word opened up down here. I like it because I can not only type the notes, but I can also add links to websites and articles that I want to go back to, or maybe videos that I want to see. Thinking out loud is weird, like I said, talking to a computer, so I'll try my best. So today I'm focusing on why teachers choose to facilitate technology and use it in their courses. So that's going to be my heading for today, so I know that that's what I'm working on today. And the easiest thing that I know how to do is just look up on Google so I can find some information about it. So teachers So I'm just going to look up teachers using technology in the classroom. And I know Google has a ton of different sources. Some of them are better than others. Some of the things I also like is I want to look for not only articles and newspaper articles about it, but I also want to look for teachers' perspectives, because what we are looking for is why teachers choose to make the decisions. And while articles can cover this and they do research, it'd be nice to learn some teacher perspectives as well. So I'm going to go right to this first one because it looks like it says 4 teachers share how attending a tech conference helped them. So that's going to give me a teacher's perspective. An Education World I have used before. So let's see what this one says. Okay, so it looks like you have a couple different things I can choose from. Some of it's social networking, teaching and learning. So let's find one. Okay, so let's do this one. Mobile technology goes to school. This is Matt Cook's 5th graders use cell phones to enhance learning and keep classroom doors open 24/7. And I know I'm supposed to be open. I really don't like the idea of using phones in the classroom. But let's go ahead and read this. It looks like it's an intermediate school. So I like this statement right here, and I know it's a quote from the teacher himself. The teacher's name is Matt Cook, and it says the kids take the phones 24/7 and have completed many different assignments from home. I also get email messages from them after school asking about questions about assignments. And I've noticed, while I teach 1st grade, I know a lot of the older students that come into the classrooms and the classrooms that I've seen a lot of, all of these kids have cell phones. That's just what it is today. If you don't have a cell phone or a smartphone, you have iPads, iPods, and you can also get email and messages after them. So that's kind of cool that they're using their phones. I know security is an issue, or sometimes when you're talking about the teacher, when you're talking about communicating with the teacher on cell phones, I know there has to be some security measures in place, especially if you're using a personal cell phone. I'm going to copy this quote: "The portability and mobility of cell phones make them an ideal teaching tool, toting them around the classroom anywhere, anytime." So I'm going to put that in my notes. And that's kind of cool that it already gives me the URL right there. So I can keep that there. I'm just going to go read the article for a little bit. So it looks like Cook did a trial and error in his classroom because he understood that students, especially fifth graders who are probably just getting cell phones, have them with them all the time. And he had them taking pictures during science labs to send to him. But it looks like he was still trying to figure out the best practices. He went to a conference in San Antonio and attended every cell phone related session, which is great because it says he was thrilled and inspired with a greater understanding of the potential use of the technology in schools. I had a chance to talk in depth with experts and the discussions ignited a plan. So obviously this is a great source because not only has he tried it in class and had a trial and error, but he also went to workshops where people have already used it and done research behind it. Okay, I noticed something else here. It says a powerful alliance was formed for Cook's program. Verizon provides the service, HTC donates the cell phones, and Microsoft Mobile is helping with software issues. So I'm going to make a note here under the same article. Oops. So I know that it's the same article, and I'm going to put that various cell phone companies helped with service and product donations. That tells me that these phones should just be used for school, which is kind of cool. There's probably a way that they can monitor what they're doing. Oh, but it says it right here. The phones are not voice or text enabled, but Cook students are encouraged to explore other ways to use the phones to enhance their learning. So I'm going to copy that one because that shows me that there is a way to safely use them, and I don't like that they're doing that. So the phones enabled. Okay. So parents in their circle, so parents have been very supportive. So that's really cool. So I'm actually going to take this website, and I know it copied over here, but I'm going to put it above so I know that all this information came from that website. And I'm going to go back to Google and continue my search. And I'm just going to do teaching with technology. And I'm going to go down. And this looks like a good one. It says helping teachers integrate technology into the classroom. So this might give me some ideas on not necessarily how, but why teachers are doing it. So I'm going to watch this video on YouTube and see what it's all about.
The Kansas Technology Rich Classroom program, funded through Title IID, is designed to create 21st century learning environments that combine technology, ongoing professional development, and real-world learning opportunities to increase student achievement. TRC project teams include 4 teachers, grades 3 through 6, and a part-time facilitator.
I work with the teachers to integrate technology into their classroom projects.
He's just been so huge in pulling that technology in and making it as seamless as possible.
But he also works to keep all the nuts and bolts rolling while they're trying to implement in the midst of instruction.
TRC teachers and students leverage 21st century tools to learn reading, math, and science.
We needed to learn about civilizations, and our teacher, Miss Heron, thought it would be fun to make a museum, virtual and real. When she had first told us this, we thought she was crazy.
We got a vote on what we really wanted to be.
I was an archaeologist.
I was the architect,
Cartographer.
author,
Geologist.
My group was South Central America,
Medieval Europe.
ancient China,
Ancient Mesopotamia.
Greece,
India.
ancient Rome.
I don't think learning should be inside 4 walls, inside one textbook. Yeah, this is a kid that we could not get excited about going to school, and he would drag his feet out the door every day. And last night, it was 7:30, 8 o'clock, I finally had to come pick him up.
He doesn't enjoy reading, he doesn't enjoy writing, but you give him that technology and let him shine a little bit. And now he's a kid that's showing leadership skills that we haven't seen before.
Chloe has been one that has struggled as a traditional student.
I had a really hard time in school. I didn't want to do any of this stuff, and I know I had to pass the grades.
With this kind of a program, she has just blossomed.
It's really awesome. Every day I wake up, I'm like, yay, I get to work with Mrs. Heron and math was my least favorite subject.
The 2 years of funding provided through TRC serves as a catalyst for change in participating schools.
The outcome has just been phenomenal, not only for student learning, and our achievement scores have just exploded, but just relationship building. We have had many workshops where teachers are helping teachers, so it has trickled all the way down through the preschool.
You are going to become the teacher.
I'm one person, and I right now have 40 students. It should be 41 minds working, not mine and only what I know.
We teach the teacher more than she teaches us.
Technology.
So I'm going to pause this video. I really liked what she said. She is just one teacher, and she has 40 students. But it's not just the one teacher teaching the students. You should have all 41 minds. The students need to be included. The students are the teacher. And I think we have definitely come away from that with all of the assessments we've had. And so far, this is a great video. While it's been playing, I read that this ALTUC is the umbrella organization for the 4 teacher tools. And this video is about the Technology Rich Classroom, which is TRC, which is what they keep referring to, initiative in Kansas. So I'm going to finish up this video and then continue reading the article. But I am definitely going to bookmark this video real quick because this is a video that I truly would use in our classroom. I'm one of the technology people, and while we push that too much screen time is used at home, so we shouldn't be using as much screen time in the classroom, this video so far has given me administration perspective, student perspective, teacher perspective, parent perspective, and how it all works, and it looks like it's really working. Let's see if we can get
Also
started
helps
again.
us go our own speed.
It really helps reach all the different learning styles.
I like everything related to technology.
I guess it captures their interest and lets them shine.
Okay, so I'm going to stop the video. And I agree with that video. And it says there are tools for student use, valuable professional development resources addressing issues such as equity, ELL, technology planning, and at-risk or special needs students. And I think that is one of the cool things about using technology in the classroom. It allows the students to work at their own pace. And what was really cool too was that museum they were talking about, and that the students had to do research, but they didn't just do research, they got to choose what they wanted to do, and they got to use the computer skills to design a virtual museum while doing research at the same time. So I think that's a great way to integrate. I'll probably explore this website a little farther later. I want to get as many resources as I can right now into my bookmark page, and then I will go back. But right now I'm just trying to get bookmarks. And under this one, so I know what it did, it had I'm calling it amazing in all caps. I loved that video. I know it's short. If you don't like technology in the classroom, that's fine. As a first grade teacher, I'm really not keen on using a lot of technology, but I am keeping an open mind. I know there's lots of different ways how to integrate. Obviously, that school in Kansas has figured it out. Okay, so I'm still looking for why teachers choose to make decisions that facilitate technology. And this first one kind of told me, because it said the portability and mobility of cell phones make them an ideal teaching tool. So this teacher chose to do it because that's what the students do. He's meeting them at their level. This video, again, showed us how they choose, but I'm actually just going to Google this whole thing to see what comes up. Why not? I know sometimes Google being too specific can hinder your results, but since I want an answer to this question, I want to see what people have out there. I'm going to search that one. So I'm looking, this first one kind of looks like it's for the other side, because it says the problem of integrating technology into teaching and learning. So that's not what I'm doing today. I'm going to do that with my next video. But I will just make a note for not using technology. And I'm going to bookmark that page for later, so I know when I do my next video, I already have some links ready. So I'm going to go to this one, technology implementation in schools, key factors, because even just within this little blurb here, it says some of this discrepancy is due to lack of comfort with using technology for that teaching. And I know that's true. I know a lot of teachers in my building, especially the ones who have been teaching 20 or more years, are still learning this technology themselves, and now we're adding the smart boards, and we're adding iPads and laptops and iPad carts into our system. A lot of our assessments are online, and I know they're really nervous just because they don't know how to use the technology. I do think sometimes teachers are embarrassed almost because their students are correcting them. I love it. I love when my students correct me because I can use it as a learning example to show that while I am the teacher, I am still learning how to do things. It shows the students that if they have to help me, they can be the teachers, and that people make mistakes. We always go back to using erasers. That's why they make them. Everybody makes mistakes. And the kids love it when I make mistakes or I don't know how to use the technology, and they love when they can teach me something. And especially in first grade, I don't know if any of you, I know a couple of you work with the younger kids, it's a huge deal when they are smarter than the teacher. Okay, I know that's a tangent, that's a side fact, and I'm rambling. So I'm going to go and I'm going to skim over this article. It says technology implementation in schools, key factors to consider. So it sounds like it could go either way. Hopefully it gives me more information on why teachers choose to use it. And before I forget, I'm also going to bookmark this site just so I have it. And if I end up not using it, that's fine. This is actually kind of a cool fact because I knew that schools are using technology. But this one says, according to surveys, as many as 95% of schools are connected to the internet. Even at the level of the individual classroom connection is nearly universal. Close to 75% of classrooms in the United States have access to the internet. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there because I think that's really cool. I knew schools have internet, but I know there's a lot of schools in rural communities, inner city schools that might not have all of that, but it says 95% of schools are connected to the internet. And it says 75% of classrooms in the United States have internet access. Well, this is cool. I'm going to find out if it says anything about, well, it says they have access, internet access, so they're able to get on it. But just because you have access to the internet doesn't always mean you have the technology to connect. So it says, yep, it says right there, despite this nearly ubiquitous access to computer technology, however, there is a significant gap between the presence of technology and its usage in the classroom. And I know from doing research with other classes, I'm also going to put that on my notes for later. Yes, we have all this technology. We have 7% of these classrooms being able to connect and have internet access, but the presence of technology and its usage in the classroom, we could have the presence of internet, but the school might not have the computers or the iPads or the ability to connect to the internet, or they might have one computer lab for an entire school or one teacher computer for the classroom. I know a lot of it has to do with money as well. So I know that's kind of, I'm going to put both sides because that could go both ways. That could be help on the choice on why schools aren't using technology as well. And it goes on to say what I've already learned being a technology coach and going through training and helping a lot of teachers. It says some of this discrepancy is due to lack of comfort with using technology for teaching and learning. I was going to put that down. Even though I'm putting it under this side, I'm going to put for not using it. Obviously, when you're doing research like this, and it's definitely a one way or the other, you either like using technology and want to use it in your classroom, or you don't want to use technology in the classroom. You're going to hear both sides in some article. So I'm going to keep that under today's video, and it says why some teachers choose. But that's why I put not using it, so I know tomorrow I can always go back to this and I can look at, see if it helps me finding the answer to why some people choose not to. But I'm just going to skim over that part because I'm still just trying to find why people choose to do it. Okay, so as I'm reading this, I know it says key factors to consider, but things like this, every educator has professional development needs. Effective professional development is planned and intentional. This website is definitely sounding more like it's going to have more support for why teachers choose not to. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to list it under not using technology. I'm actually going to save this real quick. Let's do EDU 707 week 1 task 1. That way my computer likes to slow down. It is plugged in. That way if anything happens, I'll still have it. And I know I'm trying not to get stuck in a rut. So what I'm going to do, it's not really a rut, but I keep finding with that website. I am finding that a lot more of it has to do with not using technology, so I'll save that for the next video. I just want to focus on the other side today and why people use it. So, being a first grade teacher, I want to look up how teachers are using it in the younger grades. So I'm going to put using technology in elementary classrooms. I'm going to read this one. It says, we'd like to have your personal views and your ways of using technology in your classroom. So I want to see if maybe there's some responses for some actual teacher input. I know a lot of this has been teacher input already, but like I said, I know articles are great, but if I want to really get to the source of why teachers choose, I want to hear it from the teacher's perspectives. That makes the most sense to me. Let's get that ad away. So let's read this one's EdTech review. So it looks like it's a great website, a great source to have. So let's find out what this is. This is an impact of technology in elementary classrooms. I'm going to take this before I forget, and I'm going to put it under as one of the websites I'm using so I can have it. And let's read it. This is actually really cool. It's kind of scary to me as a teacher because it says 54% of 21st century kids start using mobile devices when they are 5 to 8 years old. I'm going to take that fact, but at the same time, while it scares me because mobile devices make me go back to cell phones, iPads. I see it all the time in restaurants or even students waiting in the office for their parents to get done with a meeting. They can just sit on that for hours on end. If already 54% of the kids from 5 to 8 years old, which is when I start having them in kindergarten, first grade, are already using these mobile devices, I know that greatly affects their brain development. So I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here since this is my research, and I'm still keeping an open mind because I know since they are using it this early, especially this many kids are using devices this early, it's a great learning tool. But I know part of the reason is because it continually changes. It's actively changing all the time. The screen's never the same. And so what students are getting used to is they're getting used to that instant gratification, that instant change, that instant learning, that instant stimulation. And we are noticing, this is only my 3rd year teaching, but even from my subbing days to now, or my 1st year of teaching to now, in 3 years, my 1st year I had the typical boys were active, you know, boys and girls 5, 6, 7 years old, they need to get up, they need to get moving, you need to integrate as much as you can on your teaching styles and how you teach. But we have so many more behavior problems. Kids cannot sit and listen. I can't even get through my calendar now, which only takes us about 10 minutes. We do weather, poems, we sing. I cannot do that 10 minutes and with half the class sitting. They start getting up. So this, I think technology is a great tool. And again, I'm kind of going off on my own little tangent because I have really strong feelings. I'll just let them go. I'll try to let them go. But back to this fact, if 54% of the kids are using mobile devices, it makes sense that if that's what they're used to and that's how they're learning at home and that's how they're learning outside of the classroom, then it obviously is a great tool to be using in the classroom. This is kind of cool. I won't copy all of these. But it says 72% of iTunes' top-selling apps are designed for preschoolers and elementary students. So yes, I don't agree with some of the stuff, but I think that's really cool, and I know I have some really great apps that help the students, so I'm actually going to copy that one, even though I just said I wouldn't, because that shows that people are realizing we need that market, we need that industry. So let's go to this one, use of mobile devices and computers in education. This is so true. I'm going to continue reading it, but I want to copy this statement. Educators find the use of technological devices in education a great way to engage students because it attracts them. And it goes back to my little rant about a minute ago that it does attract them. You can give a 5 or 6-year-old having a tantrum in our classroom the iPad with one of our games on it, our educational games, or just something to do, and 90% of them will stop and they can sit and focus because it's that instant stimulation, the gratification, that change, they get instant results, and that's what works. And if it attracts them, they're going to want to learn more. So that's one reason why it's a great tool. So I'm going to keep reading this for a little bit, for a few minutes. That's true. It helps them learn in ways they're comfortable with. Many games, storytelling apps, online tools are introduced into the elementary classroom to engage students more effectively than with traditional approaches. And I know that we use websites like ABCia, and they have math and reading games. They're disguised as games. Some of them I even have to watch for a few minutes to figure out what the educational purpose is. But there always is one, and they feel comfortable with it. We are putting them on the computers, playing these games because that's what they like. It gets them doing different things. And at the same time, you can kind of teach them the computer skills too. So it's kind of a 2-in-1. We're teaching them educational skills, but we're also teaching them technology skills and how to use them. So as they grow up, they can continue to be comfortable with technology and want to explore it on their own. Okay, so usage of internet and social networks in education. And again, the first sentence is always supposed to be a drawn, and this one is. It says, use of internet in education benefits students as well as educators and makes them work on what really matters. Many online tools that connect teachers, students, and parents have been introduced into the classroom to help them collaborate from anywhere and at any time. I'm going to copy that sentence, the one that many online tools connect teachers, students, and parents, and they help them collaborate from anywhere and at any time. That is a huge reason why districts are integrating technology. I know my district last year just switched to something called Power Teacher, Power School, and at the elementary level, the K1 level, we're still have some teachers really fighting, so we're still using our Fusion pages, which is kind of set up like a blog. But what's really cool about Power School and Power Teacher is the parents and students get their own login, so they can see when assignments are due, they can see what their grades are, they can see what's coming up, they can have reviews posted. Teachers can even post links and assignments right through that website and through that program. And we all have internet, so teachers are checking all the time. Students and parents can have access 24/7. If you go out of town as a teacher or as students and somebody needs to get a hold of you, it's a great way to communicate. And I think that's the really cool part about it. You can communicate between teachers and parents and students, and that collaboration is what helps our students succeed. So that's a great reason why technology is integrated and facilitated into the classroom. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Google. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 websites helping to support the reasoning behind why teachers choose to use technology in their classrooms. And even though in the process I have found 2 that are for the other side, that's great. That will help me with that one. So I'm just going to do, why do teachers use technology in the classroom? I did notice that as I was typing that up, something came up that said, why should teachers use technology in the classroom? I don't know why. I don't want to look up why they should, because I want to find out why do they actually use it. Okay, and it looks like some of these are why they should. I'm trying to find teachers' perspectives. Let's try this one. It says, how do you use technology in your classroom? And it looks like it might be a blog or some response, because the blurb right here says, I'm always trying to find new ways to use technology in my classroom. However, I have relied on Google the most of last year, which I am guilty of myself. So let's see what this has to say. Oh, it is kind of like a blog. It's called the Teaching Channel. So I'm going to just go read and see how teachers use it. So this first teacher, Regina, says she uses Edmodo, which I'm familiar with. It helps connect to parents, and it's a social not social networking, but it's a site to help communicate with parents and students. This is kind of cool because this talks about Tilania. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It definitely depends, I agree with her, on the learning objectives of the classroom. And she has some sharing, laptops, Discovery Education. I know that's an online website that has videos. I've used that before. iPods, document cameras I've used before are all great tools. And I'm actually going to copy this website, and I'm going to copy her post because she lists the technology and how she uses it. And that's one of the reasons why you would choose to use technology in the classroom. So I'm just going to copy her whole post with her name so I know. Oh, and it looks like it's from 2013, which actually really cool. I do not want this as our hyperlink. And I'm going to save that. Okay, I'm going to keep reading some of these. I'm going to see how much time I have left. Okay. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to keep looking. Let's do this. Using technology in the classroom pros. Let's look for some of the benefits. Let's look at this one, advantages of using technology in the classroom. Okay, and it says, I don't know what that is. It says there are many benefits of technology in the classroom, especially as a student. Especially as students become more digitally literate. Here are some ways to incorporate technology into the classroom. And it shows a picture of the interactive whiteboards. I'm going to bookmark this website again before I get too far. It's not really bookmarking, I guess. I'm just taking notes in the Word document so I can have them for later. It says that another advantage of using technology is that it's flexible and adaptable, which is key. It is. You can make up a ton of stuff. So I'm going to put that in my notes. That's a great reason why people use technology in the classroom. And it gives us examples like podcasts and vodcasts. So that one doesn't have a lot, so I'm just going to keep going, and we're looking up the pros of using technology in the classroom. I'm going to try this one. It's a SlideShare. So maybe a teacher created it, but it's going to be a presentation. It looks like, yep. And it doesn't really tell me who created it. So it says more student involvement, so students aren't bored. That's true. This is also a huge one. You can do a lot more online and using different technologies to do real-life situations and training. This is especially true with meeting learners at their level. You can challenge those students who need a little bit of extra challenge, and even those who are struggling, you can always find ways to challenge them. I can't copy from there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this SlideShare presentation, link to it again so I don't lose it, and I'm going to put type in this slide because I think this is a great slide. These are definitely reasons that teachers choose to use technology. And I'm going to just keep this open since it's not letting me copy and paste, and I know I could probably go down to do it. Here are some things that I might use tomorrow or for my next video. These are definitely things that need to be done before. Here are some different types. I'm going to add this one too because I think this is important too, that the students need to enjoy the learning. I think that's really key. It says most students complain about being bored with technology. This can be the main solution. So it looks like that's the end of it. And it looks like I have a pretty good start here. I found a couple more resources. So let's see, I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I found 7 resources that help me understand more on why different teachers use technology, which is great because I've had a couple rants already about my feelings toward technology, so it's great to get a new perspective, and I've tried to really keep that open mind. And I already found some resources for when I do my research on why some people do not choose their technology. So for tomorrow, I'm going to focus on that part, why some teachers do not choose to make decisions that facilitate technology integration into their courses. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm planning on taking notes, getting the links set up, And this is saved as EDU 707 Week 1 Task 1, so I know exactly where to find it, and I can reflect on my notes if I need more than just the videos. And that's my research for today.